I have an example, and then I'll take some calls of of things happening due to the order of God being broken. And it starts in the home. It doesn't start outside the home. It starts in the home, and when you go outside the home, you are seduced because you're already in a fallen state due to the failure of your parents. You're seduced by the world. And they're doing what they're supposed to do because they're of their father, the devil. Children of God, men and women, are in the world, but not of it. You must be born again. Whether you like it, accept it, or believe it, or whatever. You can read the Bible until the cows come home. You can hoop and holler and dance up and down the aisles until your black fall off or until your white fall off. But unless you're born again, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. You will not come back to the order of life. You will not be your natural self. Here's an example, another example of what is happening because of the order of God being broken. A 63-year-old white woman was caught on camera calling a group of black teenagers a bunch of monkeys. Stop monkeying around, boy. She called them monkeys. And these so-called black teenagers were going, let's see here. A 63-year-old white woman was caught on camera calling a group of black teenagers a bunch of monkeys. Hey, hey, with the monkeys, everybody monkey around. We're too busy singing. We ain't got time to monkey around. Called a bunch of monkeys who were going to end up in the streets doing drugs. So according to this woman, a bunch of black monkeys who were teenagers going to end up in the streets doing drugs if they kept monkeying around. The altercation allegedly began after the woman and her husband caught the teens sneaking one of their friends into a movie theater. So according to this report, the black teens were sneaking one of their black friends into the movie theater. You know how black people want free stuff? Reparation now and reparation forever. There's this black woman that calls this black show that I sometimes listen to on my way to the studio here in the morning because it comes on really early. And they have this old black woman. She sounds old. And she called into this show. And when the host bring her on, like, good morning, mama, somebody. And she said, good morning, whatever she said. Reparations now and reparations forever. So black people want free stuff forever. So these blacks were trying to, according to the report, sneak one of their friends into a movie theater. When I was growing up, that would never happen. I wouldn't have even dared or even thought of talking about watching your thoughts. Had that thought come to me to sneak into a theater or my friends tried to allow me to sneak it, I would not have done it. It just was, first of all, I would have considered what would happen once I got home, but my consciousness would not have allowed me to do it. The lady and her husband told management what happened, that these people were sneaking in this black person, but the theater looked into it and no one was removed. They're like, okay, ma'am, we'll look at it. Oh, they black. They went back to work. They expect that from the blacks. This is ABC Augusta. The couple then tried to take matters into their own hands after the film ended.
We have to respect each other. What you talking about? We have to give our space. No phone. You go to the movie theater, you open the door and show.
This cell phone video captures a group of girls and who appears to be Larry and Antonia Radler talking to the teens about who opened the exit door inside the movie theater. Although the person recording the video is laughing, a very serious argument ensues between the kids and the adults, and then one bystander captures this.
Hush! You hush! There's a bunch of monkeys.
You are mad! You know me!
You're going to end up. You're going to end up on the streets doing drugs. No!
Amazing. She said they're a bunch of monkeys. Ooh. And white people, it was right for them to go and tell the manager about it. If they didn't do anything about it, you should leave it alone, because black people hate whites and their children hate whites. They're not going to listen to you. They're not. They don't respect you. They hate you. They blame you for their failure, for their mothers messing them up and their daddies not being there to protect them from the mama. And as a result of what you just saw there, what you just seen, one of the mothers is saying the woman's husband hit her 14-year-old daughter. Can you say money? Here's that soundbite.
As I was running towards her, I see the gentleman hit my daughter.
Sherelle Yarbert says her 14-year-old, Takara Darden, texted her 15 minutes prior to the show ending like she always does. But when she pulled up, it was chaos. Darden says the couple came towards them very aggressively.
Right here on my face. And it was swollen that morning, but it went down.
Her face went down overnight. If you believe that, I got some cotton on my plantation for you. And so the black mother didn't rush to the scene to say, you know what, adult white people, I'm sorry my kids acted the way. You girls are wrong. Y'all should not have been sneaking anyone into the theater, and you should not be disrespecting the elderly. These people are telling you the truth. You should not be disrespecting them. You're wrong. No, they don't care about morality. They thinking money right now. These white folks done told these black kids the truth. And the mama talking about, I saw her hit the daughter. I don't believe that man hit that daughter. He was trying to pull his wife away from them, if anything. Amazing. I don't believe it. The couple was arrested. Isn't that amazing? But the husband told ABC News that he was just defending his wife.
The Raiders were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, but Larry Radler tells us they were actually the ones physically hurt.
One of the larger, older teenage girls ran and knocked my wife over, ran over, knocked her down, pushed her down, and I bent over to try to protect her, and as I was doing that, protect her from being kicked and all that, as I got up, then one of them, either the same one or another one, knocked me down.
Amazing, huh? But the blacks don't care about that. They're not gonna rebuke the children, the black girls for doing wrong. They're gonna rebuke the white people for standing up for what was right. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing, Jesse. Yes, Jesse. That's amazing. This is what's wrong with most, not all, but most black people, no morals. They hate white people. They hate everybody. And the last soundbite, another so-called mom said her daughter was sent to the hospital after she was hit by the 63-year-old white woman. She's like, girl, you better go to the hospital so you see a doctor. If you see a doctor, that you make more money then, child, when you go to court. Child, you better go there. You better fake it. That's money. Oh, white people got money. Here's that soundbite.
Comiskey Afu says her daughter, 14-year-old Micaiah Burnett, was sent to the hospital with a contusion to the eye after she says she was hit by 63-year-old Antonia Radler.
You harass these kids, you follow these kids, you put your hands on these kids. It'll be a different story with two grown people.
Amazing. So these black kids, the ones who are helping one of their friends, according to the report, break into a theater without paying, sneak in without paying. And when they're called on it, rather than apologizing or telling their friend, no, you got to go, we are wrong, they blame it on the white people for doing the right thing, according to this report. I guarantee you those are single mamas. And the fact that their kids are out of order means that the mamas are out of order too. You can bet your bottom dollar. And this crap about racism, it ain't going to work with me. And about slavery, the blacks were better off under slavery than they are under mental slavery as they are today. Not all, but most. And folks, I highly suggest that you speak up and tell the truth. The only thing that I would have suggested that the white people done, they reported to the people who work at the theater, the manager and the other. They did that, according to the report. After that, that's their business. If they don't mind these black people sneaking in and all that, leave it alone. In the good old days when boys were boys and men were men, if black boys did that or black girls did that, the adult whites and blacks and others were able to correct them. Boy or girl, I'm going to tell your mama, I know your mama, Miss Rowley, I'm going to let her know what you just did. I'm like, oh, please don't tell her. Please don't tell mama. But those black kids sit there and taunt it, as we can see on the video, the elderly whites. Such a sad way to live. And they expect life to get better. It ain't going to happen. No reparations, no affirmative action, no white people being afraid, no Barack Obama lying to the blacks, no Big Mama Michelle Hooster Mama dancing for 8 years in the White House. None of that is going to solve the problem. We got to bring back the order of God. And that order is God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children. You could let all the women in the world become presidents and congresswomen and own businesses and whatever. It would still be screwed up because the order is reversed. You got to turn it back over. And men, it's abnormal to be beta males. It's abnormal to be afraid of your mothers and of your wives and of your girlfriends. That's not normal. You're a beta male. You're a woman when you're afraid. How come the man's afraid of the woman, but the woman's not afraid of the man? Duh! Wake up, men. Forgive. Forgive your mothers for turning you into beta males, and forgive your fathers for protecting you from that. It was his job to do that. But he had been wiped out by his mother. He married his mother. You become attracted to what you hate. You end up with the same spirit in every woman that you meet until you forgive. And women, you meet the same men that like your weak father and your mother until you forgive. I've had so many women tell me, yeah, I'm married to my mama. My husband get mad just like a woman. Or my boyfriend act like a beta male, act like a woman. All he want is sex. He want his drug. And they say, I give it to him so I can control him. I can't live with him and I can't live without him.
Are you done with that story or can I make a comment?
Lord, if you have to. Go ahead.
Is that the white people, like you said, went wrong when they decided to deal with it in their own hands. They got angry.
Well, it was right for them to correct the kids for doing wrong But in a normal country, that would have happened. That would have been fine because the parents didn't hate white people back then.
Right.
But it was wrong because the store manager didn't do anything about it, and they tried to correct the kids, who was the right thing to do. But reality is that black people hate whites, and their kids do too, and they're not going to listen to them.
Well, right, but they did it in the wrong way. They got angry about it, and they try to get all authoritative over them or whatever the case is. But when they do that, then the blacks or the people on the side of evil, not all, but the people on the side of evil, they win because now they can use the blame card. Oh well, he hit me or he pushed me down, and they're gonna win because everybody's leaning towards the poor blacks. So if they would have handled it perfectly or whatever, said what they said, corrected it and left, then the evil would have no footstool.
Well, I don't know if they were angry or not. It seemed like they did stand there and start arguing with them. I know one thing, that once they didn't accept the correction, I would have left them alone. That's for sure.
And then keep it moving.
And kept going. So I definitely agree with that.
What a mess.
Yeah, but if those black parents had raised their children in the right way to go, when those adults corrected them for doing wrong, they would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, ma'am," or "You're right, sir. I'm sorry. Don't tell my mama."
And shame on the black mothers for not even acknowledging the fact that their kids were acting crazy by even breaking into the movie theater.
Well, that's why I say that there's no such thing as bad children, but bad parents, because the children, the mirror image of their parents. Believe me, good parents do not create bad children. It just good produces good. Evil produces evil. So what you see in the children comes from the parents.
It's horrible.
Amazing. Are you going to have babies one day? Well, you're not going to have them, but you're going to make babies.
I hope to.
Yeah. And they should turn out well because you and your wife would be well.
I hope so.
Can you imagine a little Joel running around? A little Joel.
No more little Joel. I'm the third already. Ain't no more.
Oh,
No fourth, fifth, nothing.
Thank you. We'd have had enough of Joels. And as far as these two white adults who confronted the bad black girls for allowing one of their friends to sneak into the theater, they were right for correcting them. And these mothers should be ashamed of themselves for going down there or wherever they met their daughters and they correct the daughters. But the mothers ain't no good either. Because if they had been, they would have corrected the daughters instead of doing what they did with it. That's what I'm saying. We got to return to morality. And I've said over and over again that black people are not suffering due to so-called racism or slavery or Jim Crow or none of that stuff. Destruction of the family and weak fathers and angry mothers. All right? They need to know the truth with perfect love. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.